welcome back to our 2-Minute Tuesdays with Trish and Pastor Dave.
That's me. 2-minute 2.
All right, today's question is from Nibble.
Nibble. This
Nibble.
comes from Twitter again.
Yeah,
I
it's
bet.
from Twitter, so who knows if that's
Hey, Nibble. Good
their
to
real
see you.
name.
I like Nibble. Nibble likes
reminds me
a
of a
lot
little
of my
like
stuff.
hamster.
Yeah, for a hamster question. Is it right to eat small animals?
Exactly. All right, Nibble.
Will there be guinea pigs in heaven?
Aw. All right, so his question, it says, advice for those who are down with Jesus, but don't do churches for whatever reason. I see this one discussed quite often on the interwebs.
Oh, the interwebs. I love the interwebs.
I like the way he phrased that question.
Yeah, that's brilliant. All right, well, Nibble, the typical pastor thing would be to tell you, oh, find a church and do church because church is indispensable. And I do think the church in many ways, a faith community is indispensable, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, because otherwise we just get stuck in ourselves and God becomes us.
Yep.
That said, I'm not going to tell you that because you know what? There are darn good reasons why people don't like churches. And churches, by the way, have not been very, I would say, diligent about being really likable and really welcoming, really acceptable. Churches, even the ones who say, we welcome everybody, have a host of prejudices and hierarchies and presumptions that often you cannot see until you get in them. Like it's, hey, come in here, you know. You know what else says everybody's welcome? The spider in the web, right? So,
Yep.
I'm not going to tell you to go out and find a church.
Yeah.
I would say though, when you do, or if you do, if you want a community, look for a community or church that doesn't do church first.
Sure.
That does faith first, that does love first. And I don't mean like hippy-dippy, anything goes. That's no better than oneself. But I mean literally, we gather around something that's not ourselves, but we gather around this in the name of love and love only. And when put to the choice, we will choose that affirmation over anything else in our church.
Yeah.
And when you have found that, the church that will change for the newcomer and the marginalized, and the church that will repent and grow, not enforce its mistakes by tradition or hierarchy or whatever, then I think you found a church that's safer. And if that church also listens to you and will change in response to you, then you found a church you know that for you at least that you can be a part of because you really influence it. So beware of most churches, because most churches aren't like that. There's good reason you don't like them, but don't stop hoping or stop creating the kind of communities that are different.
I like that. Well, if you have your own question, send them in at the forum at lightofthespirit.church and your Twitter and email, which are
At Dave Deckard on Twitter or pastor@sov-id.org.
all the things, all the fun.
All the things. We got .church.org, Twitter at...
It's
you
hard
know.
for my brain to be like, what are we doing
I just
again?
get them on a shirt. Right?
My brain's in another world.
Yeah, exactly. As usual. Your brain's thinking about food, isn't it?
Always Taco Bell.
Carrot Taco Bell. They got rid of my 7-layer burrito.
Exactly.
Taco Bell, bad church. You did bad church thing. What about us vegetarian fast food eaters? Taco Bell.
I'm just thinking about that Crunchwrap.
Oh, Crunch Wraps are pretty good. They just came out with like I think I've seen
That was
advertised.
English,
The
yes.
quesadilla thing wrapped in a thing.
Quesarito?
Yeah, or whatever. It has cheese on the outside and then a taco on the inside and things, and you know.
I stick with the things I know.
Yeah, well, you do. You are you.
I am of
when
one
it comes to
nature.
food, you're bad church too. You don't change,
I
right?
don't change. Once I find what I want, that's it. That's it. I'm done.
The International Church of Trish Food.
No compromise.
Exactly. I work with a lot of people. You know, the person I do basketball podcasts with is exactly like that.
Yeah.
You know, like I want a quarter pounder with cheese with no cheese. You know, and that's all I want. And only ketchup. Yeah.
I don't know how we got to this rant.
I don't
but here
know,
we
Dia.
are.
I see you out there, though. That's literally you. You and Trish could go out to
Yeah,
eat.
you can use all 3 platforms that we just gave you and tell us what food you like. I don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
And then we can just make it fun. All right, we'll see you next week for next question.